When Jackie Chan first spoke about Islam, the world couldn't believe what they were hearing. A man known for humor, stunts, and unstoppable energy suddenly turned philosopher, and his words carried the weight of a lifetime of travel, wisdom, and experience. "I've worked in almost every country," he began, "but there's something different when you step into a Muslim land. The people walk with humility. They greet you with peace. They pray with purpose." The room fell silent. This wasn't the Jackie Chan who jumped off rooftops or laughed through interviews. This was a man who had seen the world and come back with truth in his eyes. He recalled filming in Morocco when the crew suddenly stopped at sunset. "I thought there was a power outage," he laughed, "but everyone just laid down their mats and prayed. 5 minutes later, the world continued like nothing happened, but I could still feel the calm." That was the moment he realized Islam wasn't just a religion. It was discipline and devotion woven into daily life. "In a world that's losing control," he said, "these people have found balance, not in money, not in fame, but in faith." His words spread like wildfire. Some criticized him. Others thanked him. But Jackie didn't back down. "I've been in Hollywood for years," he said in another interview. "I've seen people chase freedom by losing themselves. But in Islam, I saw people find freedom by controlling themselves. That's real strength." Then came his bold prediction. "A time will come when the West will turn its eyes to the East, not for kung fu, not for culture, but for clarity." The internet exploded. His clips were translated into dozens of languages. In Malaysia, his quotes appeared on posters. In Turkey, talk shows debated them. In America, commentators tried to downplay them. But it was too late. The truth had already escaped the cage. Jackie's message wasn't about conversion. It was about connection. "When I see Muslims," he said, "I see people who wake up with gratitude, who wash before prayer, not just to clean their body, but their mind." That's powerful. That's what the modern world is missing. He described visiting a mosque in Indonesia, where a small boy offered him dates and water. "He didn't know who I was," Jackie smiled. He wasn't serving a celebrity. He was serving a guest. That's Islam. It teaches service without expectation. Later in Dubai, he said something that stunned even the entertainment world. "Fame made me proud, but faith, even when it's not mine, makes me humble." He admired how Muslim families stayed together, respected elders, and cared for their parents. "That's not weakness," he said. "That's civilization." Then came the line that made headlines everywhere. "I'm not Muslim, but I've seen Muslims live the way many of us only preach." That's why Islam will keep growing, because people are hungry for meaning. And then, his boldest prediction yet. In 50 years, maybe less, Islam won't just be a religion people talk about. It will be the moral compass of the modern world. "When the lights of technology blind us, faith will be the only thing that helps us see again." The world gasped. "When I was younger, I thought strength was in the body," he said softly. "Now, I know strength is in the spirit, and Muslims have mastered that." He spoke of Muslim stuntmen who prayed before every dangerous scene. "They said, 'My brother Jackie, we trust Allah with our lives,' and they meant it. That kind of courage isn't trained. It's born from faith." He paused, eyes glistening. "Maybe the world doesn't need more action heroes. Maybe it needs more people of action, guided by faith." Those words shook the world. Mosques quoted him in sermons. Youth groups shared his clips. Even non-Muslims began reflecting on the balance between spirituality and strength. Months later, when asked about the controversy, Jackie smiled. "I didn't say anything new," he replied. "I just said what my heart saw. Sometimes truth doesn't need to be new. It just needs to be heard again." He reminded humanity that peace isn't weakness, humility isn't submission, and that Islam isn't a mystery. It's a mirror reflecting what the world has lost. Across continents, his words sparked reflection. In Indonesia, children wrote essays on faith. In the UK, students debated celebrity influence on spirituality. In the Middle East, scholars quietly said, "He has seen the truth through his travels." When asked if he was comparing religions, He replied, "No, I'm saying Islam hasn't lost its direction. Many of us have." "You can't judge a tree by a few broken branches," he added. "Look at the roots. That's where the truth lives." His fairness moved millions. Muslim leaders from Pakistan, Egypt, and Nigeria wrote to thank him. Jackie responded simply, "I didn't do it for thanks. I did it because peace deserves a voice." Soon, documentaries, films, and cultural discussions quoted his words. "Young Muslims," he said, "remind me of martial arts, discipline, patience, respect. The world mocks those values, but they're what build peace." He drew a powerful parallel. In martial arts, a fighter learns to control anger before power. In Islam, a believer learns to control desire before action. Both paths lead to mastery, one of the body, the other of the soul. One young fan from Syria wrote to him, "My family lost everything in war, but your words reminded me that we still have faith, and that's everything." Jackie read that letter aloud, voice trembling. "This," he said, "is why words matter, because sometimes faith is the only thing keeping people standing." He ended his speech with a final reflection. "The future will belong to those who walk humbly, bow only to God, and protect goodness, no matter what name they call it." Years later, his words aged like prophecy. Across Europe and Asia, more people began rediscovering Islam, not through politics, but through its values, compassion, and balance. Universities played his clips. Hollywood slowly began portraying Muslim stories with dignity. When asked about it all, Jackie smiled and said, "I told you, peace doesn't need to fight to win. It just needs time." And maybe that's why his final quote became legendary. "Islam reminded me that true strength is quiet." From Kuala Lumpur to London, those words echoed on billboards. Discipline without ego, that's faith. Jackie Chan didn't just make movies, he made moments that moved souls. His bold prediction about Islam wasn't just about the rise of a faith, it was about the awakening of humanity. When the world drowns in noise, truth still speaks softly, and sometimes it takes a warrior to remind us where peace truly lives.